Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today, or actually 2 days ago, it was this 2-year anniversary of my channel. This may not seem that big, but to me it is absolutely huge. Way back when I got hacked, and that was quite bad at the time, but now it's 2 years have passed, and that's an absolutely huge achievement for me, the fact that I've been going for this long. I've actually been doing YouTube for over 3 years, but I really count that as when I really started, because I was a bit younger, even though I was getting quite a few views back then. Not as many as I'm getting now, but I was getting a few for the time, and I was like 13 when I started that, and now I'm 16 going 17, so a lot of time has passed, and it's just an absolute huge achievement for me. So instead of doing what I'd normally do, which is the TNT Cannon episode, I'm going to be doing that later on, mostly because I'm still trying to do the one shot, and I've actually making progress, but I'm still redoing a lot of it because I'm just a noob at big TNT cannons. But anyway, what I'm going to be doing is going over 5 of the most common questions I get, but I'm going to be going into these really in depth and hopefully just give people more insight about me, my life, and just hopefully it should be pretty entertaining. So now on to that. So the first question is, what does your computer setup look like and what tech do you use? So the tech that I use is, my phone is called the OnePlus One, which if you don't know what it is, look it up. You'll get 2. It's a joke, but yeah, but if you look it up, it's a phone. It's a pretty good phone. I got it ages ago when I saved up a bunch of money, because I still do that. Don't make that much money, but I still do that. But so I use that to take this awfully horrible photo in my room of my setup. It's very, very basic. I've got a chair. It's supposed to be a computer chair. I got it from a thrift store, or what we call an op shop. And I got the desk for $50, and it's an awful desk, but it works. And those are the 2 cheapest things there. I've got a glass of water on the side with like a Buddha in the back there. Don't know if you can see it. And a plant, because if I don't have a plant, I'll suffocate. I've got 2 monitors. One of them, they're both 1080p, and the one on the left is an IPS monitor. And I hardly ever use the one on the right unless I have like a screenshot or something, because the IPS one is color correct. So I mostly do all my work on that, and normally my scissor arm is actually blocking my view to the other monitor. So it works fine, and that scissor arm is what normally holds up my Blue Yeti, which is currently broken, which is very annoying because that cost me a lot of money, and I don't really have enough money to actually buy a new one, so I'm going to have to figure out some solution to that. But at the moment, I'm recording on that, and I got that hooked up. I've just got my blue snowball just sitting above it. It'll probably fall out like a bowling ball and break, and then I got a pop filter in front of that, and then I can just move that around to whatever position I want. So that works out quite well. But then below that, I got my keyboard, which is just a standard mechanical keyboard. I got all this stuff, most of it, when I went to Hamilton and brought this thing off Trade Me for just over $1,000. The stuff here is worth probably about just nearly $2,000. And by the way, this is all New Zealand dollars. So I got the computer, which used to have an R9 290, but after one day it actually broke. So I brought a GTX 970, stuck that in there, and it works perfectly fine. And for all the people that say, why would you buy a GTX 970? There's so many better cards. I just think it's a pretty good graphics card, to be honest, and it's in the best price to performance range that you can pretty much get. But the people that go, it has 3.5 gigs of VRAM instead of 4, I honestly don't care. It works fine for me, and it's in this fractal design case which came with it. And the guy actually gave it to me, it was super dusty, so it just spent about 2 hours dusting it out back in January. It's also got 8 gigs of RAM. I have another sticker at 8 gigs, but it won't work in it, unfortunately. It's got 5 auxiliary fans, so if you heard my background fan noise ever in a video like my last one, which I'm still annoyed because the whole reason I got my Blue Yeti is so I couldn't pick that up, but you can probably still hear it in this video, which is very, very sad. So sorry to everyone that can hear that or who has headphones. But that's that. The mouse I brought a while ago, and the mouse pad is World of Warcraft. Never actually played that game, but that came with it. But it's a really good mouse pad, mostly just because it's a huge one. And that's pretty much the setup. I have cable management behind it. I spent forever on that. It didn't actually take that long. I also spent a while actually cabling all my bags, and the main reason I did my cable management is because I wanted it so you couldn't see the cables under the desk, which I succeeded at, and I actually think it looks quite good behind it. And another thing I've done is I have pillows behind my computer for reverb protection, which really helps because I can't get acoustic tiles, and to be honest, every little bit helps. So I've got my bed behind it, which softens, and I've got my pillows behind my monitors, which also soften. And I probably could do more, but I don't really know what else I could do, to be honest. Also, on the right side of my room, I have my trophy for being good at being good academically. I'm actually really smart at school. I do get really high grades. I do pretty well, actually, and that's just pretty much saying you are great. You are pretty much top student. And it's gold. It's actually gold. It's 12 karat gold, which is fantastic. I have to go back at the end of the year, but my name's engraved on it for the next like 10 years. I've also got my wireless laser printer, which works pretty well. I don't use it that often, but it does work well for what I need to use it for. And I've still got some chocolates from Easter on top of there. I've got more in my closet and down on the bottom right, but I'm not showing you. And then I got an Xbox 360 from there, which is really old. I don't really use it. It's plugged into my monitor, but I just have it there because we have an Xbox One in the lounge, and I don't really play console games that much, so I just have it there, right? Just not really for any reasons, mostly just it exists. So that's pretty much my whole setup. The computer I use is a Asus UX305, which works really well for me because I use it for school. It doesn't have backlighting keyboard, which is probably the only downside of it. But the one great thing about it is if you can compare it to something like a MacBook Air, it is half the price and it has much better performance. So anyone that can think of a better deal than that when compared to Apple, well, good luck. That's a pretty good deal. Although it cost quite a bit more when because I imported it from the US, so it cost quite a bit more because of import fees. So it's probably nearly as much as a MacBook when you get to that stage, but it doesn't really matter to me because I got my laptop for school. So I pretty much use that and my main computer, and half the time I'm at my grandma's, which I'll explain later on. So I mostly use my Ultrabook for playing Minecraft and making cannons and doing. So this next question is, what got you into TNT cannons? And this thing is relatively simple. Way back when, about 2 years ago, I was really into redstone. I was trying to learn every single possible thing I could about it, and I made a redstone house, which became really popular before I got hacked. And I made a redstone house too, which you can still check out if you want to. It's a couple of months old now, but I still think it's pretty good. And I just absolutely love redstone. I was absolutely obsessed with compacting things, which is probably why you see me trying to compact cannons to unnecessarily small sizes. But that's just the way I like to do things, because there are other people that do cannoning, but I think me compacting it makes it special in my own little way. So I like compacting things, but after that I got hacked, I really just wanted to change what I was doing, and I absolutely love TNT. When I started that, I had no idea that stuff like one-shots even existed. In fact, I'm still learning how to do TNT cannons, and I'm doing it on YouTube. So yeah, there's probably quite a few people that are better than me. But I really just loved TNT cannons, and I thought doing it on YouTube would give me a great way to learn from everyone and show everyone things that people might not see that often. Like, one thing I'm extremely proud of, even though it's not that used, is my slime cannons, because no one else has done anything like that. And I've made a hybrid slime cannon I'm very proud of that, just because it's something that no one else has done. And I might do more of them in the future, but I know they're not that useful. But I just like doing things that are different. And I was going to do different TNT cannons for 1.9, but the issue is there's not much different with TNT mechanics in 1.9. But that's not really how the question worked. It was really what got me into TNT cannons. It was really just I loved TNT and I loved redstone. And cannons were complex things, and they were a lot more complex than things you could do in redstone. I had already done like 4x4 doors, 2x2 hipster doors. I had done all that. I'd gotten through that, and I thought, what can I do next? And I thought TNT was just a brilliant idea. I still absolutely love redstone contraptions, but now that I've started doing cannons, I'm just obsessed with compacting them now. So, as probably everyone knows, the only thing that's given me a tiny bit of a hiccup is stuff like one-shots. Once I understand like nukers and everything fully, you're going to see some pretty tiny cannons from me. I love the ability to just problem solve things, so you can figure out the best way to compact something. Most people don't have that, but I sort of have it, and I just love doing it. So that's really the reason to do it. It's really hard to explain, but I really just like TNT cannons. It's pretty much that simple. So the next question is, what other games do you play other than Minecraft? And the list is very short, as I love playing Minecraft. I love playing factions, but I love doing the actual cannon building aspect more than actually playing factions, as stupid as that may sound. I'm really looking forward to, though, building some really big cannons and raiding with them. Those are the best. The main thing holding me back is my internet, to be honest. That's why I do everything on single player instead of like on one-shot MC. But that's not the question. But the answer to that is, well, a game I used to play a lot when I was younger was Pokemon. I love that game. Then I also played Yu-Gi-Oh, which was also a card game, but it was half-based luck, but it's also problem solving and strategic, and I love those types of games. Then I also play Hearthstone. I don't play that much anymore, but I used to play that. And probably the most game I'm playing at the moment is probably CSGO or Counter-Strike Global Offensive. My cousin played it and he got me addicted to it. Well, not really addicted to it, but I'm playing it probably more than I'm playing Minecraft at the moment. Mostly on my big computer because I can get like 300 FPS when I'm not trying to record it. It jumps down to like 70 then. But I've also spent tons of money on skins, so you can tell I've spent way too much time on that game. The only issue with that is my ping is like 100, but the servers are normally in Australia, so I can just get a relatively good connection with the Southern Cross cable. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's knowledge. Connects from New Zealand to LA and Australia. It's just huge, like 30,000 K. So if that would have to be a game, that would be my favorite other than Minecraft. I play it quite a lot. Like I said, it's the strategic aspect of it. Like, you can fire a gun. I like FPS games, but when you're playing competitive, you gotta think what your opponents are doing. You gotta think economy. I absolutely love the economy aspect of it. Like, you could sneak behind a corner and you could get a free pick on them and just kill them, and they lose a lot, they get mad, and it's just more strategic more than aim. You can get far enough with aim, but I just love the strategic aspect of it. So I love strategic games, problem solving, just all of that. It's just fantastic, to be honest. I absolutely love it. So those would pretty much be the games I play. It's really Minecraft and CSGO and maybe some other games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Hearthstone, and I don't really play Pokemon much anymore, but I still, when I was younger, I played the third generation of Pokemon when I was like 10 on the Game Boy, and I played the shit out of that because it's really all I had. So my favorite Pokemon was Blaziken, and I still actually have that as my wallpaper. Is this really cool wallpaper with Mega Blaziken on as my wallpaper for all my computers at the moment. And that was my favorite Pokemon. I also got the 3DS version of Omega Ruby when it came out way back when. It's like a year ago now, and I can't believe I'm a 15-year-old playing it. You should see some 30-year-olds, but I did play that. I just played it through once, and of course I picked Blaziken, even though you could actually get it in Pokemon X from some random trading thing. But that was really fun, so I thoroughly enjoyed those games. But that's pretty much all the games I play. Games in the future that I'll play, I have no idea. I don't really play consoles that much anymore, mostly because my brother absolutely hogs them. But yeah, so that's the end of that. Question number 4 is, what else do you enjoy doing? And this can be split up into 1,000,001 different things because I'm an absolute tech head, so whenever I get a new piece of gear, I just want to play it, love it, do everything with it. Never mind. But I just absolutely love tech, so I love games, especially Minecraft. I've spent way too much time on that. In fact, my life pretty much revolves around it now with YouTube. But outside of my tech, I would say probably photography, even though I don't technically have a DSLR. I would really love to get one. It's just I don't have much money. But I would love to get into that. I love taking photos. I really just use my crappy camera at the moment. I also love going for bike rides. I do them not as often as possible, but I do enjoy doing them just around the block. I also enjoy doing like just going out into nature, as stupid as that sounds, because I've got like a little I live in the country, and we have a place called Whiskey Gully just outside my house, about a K or 2 away, so I can just bike up there, and it's like a forest walk, but no one's ever there, and the water's fresh enough to drink out of, like, as foreign as that may sound to a lot of people. So I just enjoy going up there. There's tons of stones. I just run through there and just hope that I don't fall. But yeah, it's a fun time. I sometimes do that, but most of the time I'm actually in my room. So I thoroughly enjoy doing that. There's not too much that I actually enjoy outside of really this, but if that would be it, I would love it's either I'm in my room or I'm outside doing something like that. So I'm completely opposite sides of the spectrum. I love being on my computer, and then I love being as far away from home as possible, which may sound stupid. It's like, one time I went to our capital city in Wellington, which was actually in January, and I wanted to be outside as much as possible, which may sound creepy and stupid, but like, it's just, I didn't have really much to do inside of my computer, so just outside we go. Not even want to go to that many other things like aquariums or anything, because they have a great harbour there, so I just walk around there all day. It's cheap though, so yeah, so that's the end of that. And the last question is, what do you do in your daily life for YouTube, etc., school, all that? So, my daily life is actually pretty simple. It's a lot easier to say like week by week, because I do pretty much the same thing week by week, even though I try to like mix it up a little bit. But let's say a general week of school. On Monday, I pretty much go to school, and then on the Monday night, I try and do a bunch of stuff for YouTube or server or something like that, because I normally have to prep a video for Tuesday, which on Tuesday nights when I get home I record, and I should probably explain how my actual routine works. So what happens is I wake up at about 7 o'clock, and then my father goes to work, so I have to go to my grandma's, which is just down the street, but all my big gear is at home, so I can't really do much there, so I've only have my Ultrabook. But then I stay there in the morning, and then I go to school, and then I do my schoolwork. I'm year 12, so it's a bunch of hard stuff, exams, calculus. Calculus isn't as bad as physics, to be honest, even though physics uses calculus. I'm not going to bore everyone with that. But that's pretty much what that is. So come home from school, do a bunch of stuff, whether it's homework or server or YouTube. I don't really do much after school. Then about 7 o'clock after dinner, cleaned up that, come home, I either record, maybe I play some CSGO, not really, or play on the server, or call Jack. That's pretty much what it consists of, and I pretty much do that throughout the whole week, but I do record on Tuesday nights, and since my internet is super slow, on Wednesdays, I either upload it on my computer when I leave home, so that way I can set it up after I come home from school, or on the weekends after I'm recorded, I have to go down to my mother's, because she has alright internet, and spend about half an hour there uploading whatever video, because it takes about 6-7 hours here, because if you don't know, on ADSL, internet is just the worst for upload speed, and the internet's bad here. It's about twice as fast as my grandma, and she lives pretty much next door, and we're on a gravel road. To put that in perspective, our internet is not good here. So yeah, our town has about 800 people, and we live on the very outside of it. We live on the outside of it, so we are quite far out of the world, to be honest, which is good and bad. I honestly, there's so many benefits being in the city, but there's benefits being in the country. For YouTube, if I had good internet, I would be happy wherever I was, to be honest, as long as I wasn't paying the rent. Nah. But that's pretty much how that goes. On weekends, on Saturdays, I normally spend quite a bit of time recording, and then I'll either do something in the afternoon, whether I go to my mother's, or maybe I go to a friend's house, or else I just do more recording. And then on Sunday, for pretty much the whole day, I'm either recording a TMFactions episode or contemplating what I'm going to do instead of a TMFactions episode, or stressing because I can't connect to the internet. And then Sundays are, Sundays are supposed to be relaxing. They are the most stressful days for me ever. It's just torture. And it's currently school holidays for me, but I still feel like haven't had really a day off at all. But that's sort of fine. I'm mostly trapped around with my grandma. She won't let me out the house. I'm like a dog in a kennel, pretty much, but with access to some internet. And I live in a room in my grandma's house that is as far away from the internet as possible, so I get the worst internet in the house, and it's just not fun. So pretty much constantly live my life with horrid internet, and it's just not fun. And also, I have very limited time to record when I'm at home, and also people are normally rustling around, and it just causes a lot of issues with me with recording. So I try and find a good schedule for YouTube, but it's normally quite stressful and just hard to do most of the time. But I really I mostly get my enthusiasm when I make something like a really good cannon, and then I upload it, and then I realize there's a huge mistake and the cannon's completely useless. Or I make some sort of redstone thing like an unraidable vault, and then Napkin comes up and goes, you can't build, and then I don't get up to 8 hours later, and then everyone realizes how bad at life I am. So that's pretty much what my life consists of. It's very, very brief, to be honest, but I don't really do that much. So yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and goodbye from TNT Madness. And I'm going to somehow enjoy my 2-year anniversary. I don't know how, probably just recording this video is enough, but I'm going to look back on this one day somehow, some way. But anyway, thanks for watching.